Mr Chair.
I call the honourable member Chris Tremaine.
Thank you, Mr Chair. It's a privilege to stand and take a call in the committee stage of the Parental Leave and Employment Protection 6 months paid leave bill. I just want to reflect, Mr Chair, on a international study that was released earlier this year, championed by Harvard University, which was called the Social Progress Index. And many New Zealanders would think that as a country we would come up near the top of that sort of survey, but were surprised when in fact we came out as the number one in the world. Number one, Mr Chair. The number one in terms of social progress in the entire globe. Now that survey canvassed some 60 to 65 measures, if I recall, and the fact of the matter was that New Zealand didn't come number one in each of those measures. So I'm the first to admit that there are a range of things that as a nation we can do better, because I think all of us would want to think that we can stay in the number one position in terms of social progress as a nation internationally, because it bodes well. As my colleague said, there was 132 countries in that survey and we came out number one. But the point I make in regard to the fact that we weren't number one in each of the initiatives that were measured was that we can make more progress. And to that point, I make this other point, which is that I truly believe that every member of this House comes in here with the goal of improving the lot of all New Zealanders. Tracy Martin, Jacinda Ardern, Alfred Ngaro, Mark Mitchell, all of us actually come in here with that goal. It's a fact. I mean, we all want to leave this place having left New Zealand in a better place than when we came here. But the point I make is that we make different choices about how we achieve that progress. And that's just politics. It's about a scarce resource, which is the taxation, the revenue that comes into our government, and to the government, all from taxpayers, and it's how we choose to spend those resources. And the fact of the matter is, we're not all going to agree on the exact composition of that expenditure. And so the fact of the matter is, we have made choices over this side of the House to extend paid parental leave because we think that's a good thing, from 14 weeks to 18 weeks. We haven't agreed to extend it to 26 weeks at this point in time. But we've made other choices which my colleagues have discussed tonight. Now, free GP visits, which we announced at the budget for children under 13 years of age, lifting it from 6 years, comes at a cost. It is not free. So that is one of the choices we made as a government about improving the lot of New Zealanders. Another choice we made was to increase the parental tax credit. Now, Jacinda Ardern said that that's not that much, and it's not a huge increase, I accept that, but it still comes at a cost, which means you have to make choices about other things that you're not going to extend in terms of a set level of taxation. We particularly made a decision to increase by 155 million that amount that's going into early childhood education. Now, Mr Chair, if there's one thing we can do in this country for all children, for our nation to lift their ability to climb the ladder, it's to invest and to continue to invest in education. The ladder of opportunity I'm talking about. And with early child education, we've delivered on that, Ms Martin, and that is going to actually continue to ensure that that social progress indicator, we stay up at number one. And in that regard, we've made huge progress for Pacific Islanders and for Māori, for all New Zealanders. In fact, we are going to achieve that 98% target within the next few years. And Ms Arseneti-Taylor, that is something that you should be championing. For your people, the fact that we've lifted the numbers of young Pacific Islanders that are in early childhood education That is an outstanding achievement and something that we should always cherish. So my point, Mr Chair, is that we have choices. We've made some over here, but we don't agree with this speech.
Mr Chair.
I call the Honourable Member Kamaljeet Singh Bakshi. Annyeong Haseo.
Annyeong Haseo. Sat Sri Akal, Mr Speaker.
Sat Sri Akal.